you quickly jumped through NFTs there, and I was wondering if we could just spend a couple minutes, because so many people still can't get their head around NFTs. You've described it really well. I've actually never heard someone link it so essentially to community, which you just did there as well. Most people saw the article in the New York Times 6 months ago, right? The 69 million piece, and then they didn't compute, and they still don't really understand what it is. How do you explain it to your grandma? How do you explain it to these companies that are probably calling you saying, we need your help on how we get in this market? And you're probably laughing and saying, that's the wrong way of looking at it. How do you explain it?
Yeah, the answer to that is do not issue an NFT if you're a brand or an influencer or whatever, because that's value extraction. What you're doing is saying, I want money from my community and I'll give you something. Really, that is not good. Build a community and then you can offer value to the community. It's the wrong way around. So I really urge, I can see it happening. Burberry just announced one today. All these brands are doing it. It will work, but they need to do the work first and stop just rushing into it. So there'll be a bit of a backlash against it. But NFTs, people are misunderstanding because they're seeing art. And art is a really subjective thing. And, you know, Jackson Pollock was ridiculed, Picasso was ridiculed, everybody was ridiculed, and then they became valuable. Why did they versus others? Who the hell knows? And then we've just gone through things like Banksy, you know, graffiti art, of this is ridiculous to, oh my God, I want to buy this. So now suddenly digital art, it's like, oh my God, well, it could just be a JPEG. Well, guess what? Photographic art has value too. And anything that's signed by the photographer or has the negative is immensely valuable, or the digital file, the original digital file. So yes, every art can be replicated, but there's only one that's signed by the artist and painted by the artist, or in the case of photography, that has the negative or has the authenticity or is signed by the artist. So I've got photographs. I love music. I've got Mick Rock, who's a famous photographer of the music industry for the kind of 70s. And I've got lots of Mick Rock signed prints, and they're maybe one of tens. You know, there are one-of-ones in existence, but they're expensive, much more expensive. So authenticity is something humans like. And NFTs are basically authenticity guaranteed by the blockchain. So what they are is attaching an object, firstly digital, and saying that digital asset you can own, and it's proven that you own it. And you might get some certain rights with it. Or you might not get some rights. So Beeple's art gave him 10 or 20% every time it trades again. So, which artists don't currently get, right? So Damien Hirst, all the art he's ever made, he doesn't make any money when it trades again. The art galleries make 50%. Okay, so you're kind of disrupting the art galleries here and giving more money back to the artist. Okay, that's good. So why not digital music? Of course, duh, it's coming. That has to happen. So, okay, so that's an NFT. We talked about ticketing. Well, I want to make sure this ticket is authentic. It can be a collector's item if that ticket was an amazing gig with an amazing artist. But also, it means it's authentic, that you haven't been scalped and somebody hasn't extracted value from you. That's an NFT too. Property on a token, that's an NFT. Basically, every exchange of value of a unique asset in a digital world will be an NFT. That's how big NFTs are. So the first use case just happened to be art.
Right. So don't look at it only through that lens, because you're missing the big picture. You're seeing something super subjective and you're thinking, oh, it's this. And then you see the fools jump in and the scammers come out, and then you're thinking, no, this is a long-term part of the community layer that you're talking about. And
That's right. So really interesting. There's a guy who's been on Real Vision a few times now called Bill Tai. Bill is a VC investor, very early stage, super smart, invested in so many amazing things. And one of the key ones that he saw early, successful investors tend to join the dots and don't look at where we are now and look at where it's going, which is what I've tried to map out with you today, is where I think it's going and not where it is today. So Bill Nye saw CryptoKitties and said, this is the future. And it was nothing to do with CryptoKitties. It's like, okay, what is the power of this technology, these NFTs? Because that's what CryptoKitties were. And the next phase is the art market. But he'll be thinking before, further away than the art market, and thinking, okay, so Disney, what's the value of a Disney character NFT? Well, we're already seeing this. Ashton Kutcher's just started this. Gary Vaynerchuk's just starting this. So that's the next phase, where you can physically own the IP of a franchise thing, Star Wars character, whatever it is. And then once you build the Star Wars community around it, then that thing has even more value because you've now got a community and you've got a system of money. It's huge.
It's huge. And one thing I have to admit, we all crave community so much, don't we, Raoul? We all crave connection. And somehow the digitized space makes us crave it more. And again, we want something always more and different. And it's the essence of being human, isn't it? And so the better we can figure this out, and I guess that is where the real value is on this whole planet, isn't it? It's all about our interaction.
So it's like humans like to fit in. They like to be part of something. And if they don't, they feel unanchored. And we saw that over the pandemic. People who couldn't go out, they felt unanchored because they weren't part of a community and they didn't have their place. We're social creatures. We truly are. And so people poured online over the pandemic. And we all spent too long on Twitter or too long on whatever platform you do because we crave social interaction. And we want to be part of them. And if you look at football clubs and sports clubs, and people will be fanatical about their community. We see that with religions. So people love that. It's what drives us, to have us a sense of we're not just this little creature in this endless universe of nothingness. We just want to have a purpose in our own way, however ridiculous it might be. And, we're happy to be part of that.